CQ calling all radio amateurs and listeners. This is Golf Bravo 2 Romeo Sierra, the news broadcasting service of the Radio Society of Great Britain. This broadcast comes to you from amateur radio station Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Mappishall, Bedfordshire. Welcome and thanks for joining us. It's Sunday the 28th of July and here is the GB2RS news broadcast, which was prepared for you by the RSGB and it's made available to all radio amateurs and listeners. You can also find this news bulletin on the RSGB website at rsgb.org, along with links to groups and organisations that may be mentioned in this broadcast. This week's news headlines: 2 new directors have joined the RSGB board. The RSGB welcomes 2 new regional representatives. And the RSGB National Radio Centre is looking for new volunteers. We'll have more on those items a little later, but first, when Paul Nichols resigned as an RSGB director in May, a vacancy was created and the board chose to expand to 9 people to help achieve the Society's priorities. Peter Bowyer, Golf 4 Mike Juliet Sierra, and Peter Ransom, Mike 0 Sierra Foxtrot Zulu, have joined the board as directors and will serve until the 2025 AGM. Peter Ransom recently passed his full licence so that he could build and tinker with RF equipment, adding to his interests of writing amateur radio software and designing printed circuit boards. He enjoys technology and communication, and his career combines technology with strategy, which he hopes to use to help the Society remain relevant to our amateur radio community. Peter Bowyer has been in IT all his career, and he helps organisations with agile development. He's been licensed for 45 years and is still learning new things. He's an avid contester and has served on the VHF Contests Committee, has written a column for Radcom and is a past chair of the UK 6 metre group, and the RSGB welcomes them both to the board. New additions to the RSGB also include the announcement of 2 regional representatives who've joined the team. Firstly, Peter Lowry, Mike India 5 Juliet Yankee Kilo, is based in Region 8 for Northern Ireland, and Brian Woolnough, Mike 5 Alpha Delta Quebec, in Region 12 for England East and East Anglia. And they'll both serve until the RSGB 2025 AGM. You can find contact details for each member of the regional team at rsgb.org/regions. The RSGB National Radio Centre is so busy that it needs to expand its team of volunteers. The National Radio Centre has a fabulous setup and volunteers get full training on the GB2RS radio station. If you're considering joining as a volunteer, you should enjoy meeting people and be able to volunteer for 1 or 2 days per month as part of the friendly and dedicated team. Volunteers at Bletchley Park also enjoy many benefits, and for more information you can contact the NRC coordinator. That's Martin Baker, Golf 0 Golf Mike Bravo, and his email address is nrc, that's November Romeo Charlie, .support@rsgb.org.uk. From the 27th of July to the 3rd of August, the Essex International Jamboree, which is being held at Boyton Cross near Chelmsford, will welcome around 10,000 scouts and guides, including 2,000 volunteer helpers from around the world. As part of the programme, amateur radio station Golf Bravo 24 Echo India Juliet will run many communications and electronics activities. The station will be active on HF, VHF and UHF using various modes, and you can read more about the Essex International Jamboree at EIJ, that's Echo India Juliet.org.uk. The Broadcast Engineering Museum near Gainsborough in Lincolnshire is new and growing fast. The next open days are on Saturday the 14th and Sunday the 15th of September, run between 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the museum has a vast collection of historic broadcasting equipment and memorabilia, some of which has been restored and is in working order, and it's displayed in a former RAF sergeant's mess. Parking is free, and for more information you can email contact us, that's all one word, contact us at BECG, that's Bravo Echo Charlie Golf.org.uk, or you can visit becg.org.uk, that's Bravo Echo Charlie Golf.org.uk. And now we have a reminder for you to book your tickets for National Hamfest 2024. That's coming up soon on the 27th and 28th of September. There are early bird ticket discounts which are available until the 31st of August. The National Hamfest promises to be a memorable celebration of all things amateur radio. Traders and manufacturers will bring you the best in amateur radio equipment and accessories, and many will be offering exclusive deals, so it's the perfect time for you to upgrade your shack. For more information and to buy tickets, visit National Hamfest, that's all one word, nationalhamfest.org.uk. And another reminder, if you have any news items or publicity items that you'd like us to publicise, please send details of your events to radcom@rsgb.org.uk. It's a great benefit for you. It's free publicity, and it goes out in several formats. We have the news broadcasts such as this one. There's also Radcom magazine and the RSGB website, of course. The deadline, if you have a time critical piece of news for us, the deadline is 10 a.m. on the Thursday before the Sunday broadcast each week. And now we have details of rallies and events. Well, earlier today, the Wiltshire Radio Summer Rally took place at Kington Langley Village Hall, Kington Langley, and hopefully that was a great success. The weather was certainly fantastic. And next we have part one of the British Amateur Television Club Convention for Amateur TV 2024. That's also known as CAT 24, and that takes place on Sunday the 4th of August between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. The venue is the Midland Air Museum, that's on Rowley Road in Coventry, and the postcode for your sat-nav is Charlie Victor 3 for Foxtrot Romeo. And the convention allows amateurs to meet, take part in show and tell activities. You can use test gear there and use that to fix any equipment that might be having problems, and you can also enjoy a bring and buy event. And for more information you can follow the events tab at the BATC website, which is bravoalphatangoCharlie.org.uk. Next we have news of the Kings Lynn Amateur Radio Club's 34th Great Eastern Radio Rally. That will be taking place on Sunday the 4th of August at the Gaywood Community Centre. That's on Gayton Road in Kings Lynn in Norfolk. Doors will open at 9 a.m. with entry of only £2.50. Traders are welcome to turn up from 7 a.m. and if you're looking for an outdoor pitch, that would be £8, and indoor tables are £10 each. Car parking is free, and there'll be trade stands, a bring and buy area and catering on site. And for more information you can email rally.klarc, that's Kilo Lima Alpha Romeo Charlie, at gmail.com. I'll repeat that again. It's the email is rally.klarc@gmail.com. And now we have the special event news. Special event station Tango Mike 67 Juliet Oscar is active now to celebrate the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, which began on Friday the 26th of July. The operators include Foxtrot 1 Lima Foxtrot Lima on SSB, Foxtrot 5 Papa Zulu Tango using FT8 and FT4, and Foxtrot 5 Tango Foxtrot Whiskey on Morse code. You can QSL to Foxtrot 1 Lima Foxtrot Lima via the Bureau or directly. And for more information about the special event station, which will operate until the 11th of August, visit qrz.com and pop in the call sign Tango Mike 67 Juliet Oscar. Now, marking the 25th anniversary since Poland joined NATO, special call sign Hotel Foxtrot 25 November Alpha Tango Oscar is active until the 31st of August. You can QSL via Club Logs OQRS, and just a note that only 100 limited edition QSL cards are available. They're available first come, first served, so do call in quick. For details of a certificate, which I don't believe is limited in numbers, you can visit tinyurl.com/Hotel Foxtrot 25 November Alpha Tango Oscar. I'll repeat that for you. It's tinyurl.com/Hotel Foxtrot 25 November Alpha Tango Oscar. And now we move across to the DX news. Jeff, Whiskey 7 Bravo Romeo Sierra, is active as Victor Kilo 2 / Whiskey 7 Bravo Romeo Sierra. He's operating from Lord Howe Island. That's IOTA reference Oscar Charlie 004, and he'll be active until the 1st of August. He's operating using Morse code, SSB and FT8 on the 40 to 10 meter bands, and if you're lucky enough to contact him, you can QSL via OQRS. A little closer to home now, a team of 5 UK operators will try to activate Mike 0 Uniform Kilo India from the Flannan Islands. The Flannan Islands are IOTA reference Echo Uniform 118, and they'll be trying to activate that in early August. The Flannan Islands are an uninhabited island group roughly 20 miles west of the Isle of Lewis in the Outer Hebrides, and they're the 6th most wanted IOTA reference in Europe and the 2nd most wanted in the UK after Rockall. The team will include Rockall exhibition veteran Nobby, Golf 0 Victor Juliet Golf, as well as John, Golf 4 India Romeo November, Paul, Golf 4 Papa Victor Mike, Mike, Golf Mike 5 Alpha Uniform Golf, and James, Mike 0 Sierra Delta Victor. The trip does depend on good weather, and departure to the island is planned for the 1st or the 2nd of August. Activity will be on the 40 to 6 meter bands using SSB and Morse code from 3 operational stations. And operating will continue until weather allows departure from the islands on or around the 4th of August. So it'll be the 4th of August or later, depending on the weather. And the QSL manager is Charles, Mike 0 Oscar X-Ray Oscar. This is Golf Bravo 2 Romeo Sierra, the news broadcasting service of the Radio Society of Great Britain, and this transmission is being brought to you by amateur radio station Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Bedfordshire. Now we have the contest news. The IOTA contest started at 1200 UTC on Saturday the 27th and it finished a little earlier today at 1200 UTC. It was an international CW and SSB contest on the 80 to 10 meter bands. Another contest that started today but is still currently in progress is the UK Microwave Group 5.7 and 10 GHz contest, which started at 0600 UTC this morning and runs up until 1800 UTC this evening. Using all modes on the 5.7 and 10 GHz frequencies, the exchange is signal report and serial number and locator. Then on Saturday the 3rd of August, it's the 4th 144 MHz Backpackers contest, which will run from 1400 to 1800 UTC. Using all modes on the 2 meter band, the exchange is signal report, serial number, locator and 2-letter postcode. Also on Saturday the 3rd, it's the 144 MHz low power contest, which runs from 1400 to 1800 UTC. Using all modes on the 2 meter band, the exchange is signal report, serial number, locator and 2-letter postcode. Then on Sunday the 4th, it's the 432 MHz low power contest, which runs from 0800 to 1200 UTC. Using all modes on the 70 centimeter band, the exchange is signal report, serial number, locator and 2-letter postcode. Then on Saturday the 3rd, it's the European HF Championship, which runs from 000 to 2359 UTC. This contest uses Morse code and SSB on the 80 to 10 meter bands where contests are allowed, and the exchange is signal report and the last 2 digits of the first year you are licensed. Next we have the Worked All Britain 144 MHz SSB low power contest, which is on Saturday the 3rd of August, 1400 to 1800 UTC. The maximum power for this contest is 25 watts, and the exchanges report, serial number and your Worked All Britain square. You need to make sure you've got your entries with the contest manager by the 13th of August, and you can find rules for the contest on the Worked All Britain website. The UK 6 metre group's summer marathon started on Saturday the 4th of May and it ends on Sunday the 4th of August, so not long to go now. Using all modes on the 6 metre band, the exchange is your 4-character locator. And now we have the radio propagation report. This was compiled by G0KYA, G3YLA and G4BAO on Thursday the 25th. Well, we had another week of high sunspot numbers and low geomagnetic disturbances, but will it last? A weak coronal mass ejection, or CME, on Tuesday the 23rd failed to generate a geomagnetic storm. This was from a faint halo coronal mass ejection which was seen on Sunday, and it was much weaker than expected when it hit Earth. A further M2.4 flare near the eastern limb of the Sun on Tuesday produced a coronal mass ejection, but that was directed away from Earth. So we ended the week with a KP index that remained below 3, despite up to 19 M-class solar flares occurring during the week. So our luck must run out sometime. The main HFDX this week has been the Kilo 8 Romeo D expedition on American Samoa, and this has been workable on all bands from 20 to 10 meters, especially using FT8. And they've been testing a new SuperFox mode on FT8. And if you're interested in using this mode, you'll need to have the latest version of WSJT-X software. Daylight maximum usable frequencies, or MUFs, over a 3,000 kilometer path have reached more than 24 MHz, with 28 MHz available at times on some paths, and this should improve as we head towards autumn. 3,000 kilometer nighttime maximum usable frequencies have risen above 14 MHz and often reached 18 MHz, so make the most of the nighttime openings, as they will die off as summer ends. Next week, NOAA predicts that the solar flux index will be between 165 to 175, and the KP index will rise to no more than 2 all week. This will, however, depend on any solar flares and associated coronal mass ejections. And the coronal mass ejection could push up the KP index and could cause the MUF to drop. 4 sunspot groups have rotated into view, so keep a close eye on them on solarham.com. At least one of them is classed as growing, and it could spell trouble over the next week by way of solar flares and coronal mass ejections. And now we move across to the VHF and up propagation news. This comes from G3YLA and G4BAO. The area of high pressure which is developing over this weekend may bring tropo conditions at the start of the new week. The high will drift slowly east towards Denmark by midweek, but this could still provide tropo conditions across the North Sea until Wednesday. A weather front will reach northwest Scotland on Monday, and that will then edge slowly south, whilst a small thundery low develops near the southwest of Britain. This combination will bring a gradual change to more unsettled weather, with a chance of rain scatter on the gigahertz bands for the second half of the week. The Delta Aquarid meteor shower is active from the 12th of July to the 23rd of August. It doesn't really have any noticeable peak, but it is expected to reach its maximum rate of 25 per hour around the 30th of July. We should also have more than just random meteors, so it's worth trying meteor scatter on the VHF bands. Also, given clear skies and darkness over the next few weeks, it's worth having a look out for them with the naked eye or using a camera. The extra meteors may improve the chances of sporadic E, which have been less than enthusiastic recently. Meteor debris from meteor showers or random meteors can fuel sporadic E. The ionized trails in the E region above 100 kilometers can be affected by wave motion caused by jet streams much lower down at around 10 kilometers. Fortunately, there are a number of useful jet streams on the forecast charts for next week, with a preference for paths between Scandinavia and Eastern Europe. Moon declination is positive and rising. It will reach maximum on Thursday the 1st of August, so moon windows are long with high peak moon elevation. We passed perigee on the 24th, so path losses are rising. 144 MHz sky noise is low to moderate all week. And that's all from the propagation team this week. And indeed, that closes this edition of the GB2RS news broadcast, which was brought to you by Graham, Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Mappishall, Bedfordshire. The news was compiled by the Radio Society of Great Britain, who represent amateur radio and radio amateurs in the United Kingdom and abroad. If you have a news item to share, please email it to us as far in advance as possible so we can include it for you free of charge in the GB2RS news broadcast, Radcom magazine and the RSGB website. So it's a great opportunity to get your club's events publicised. Send your news to the editorial team who will put it in for you, but make sure that you have it in to us by the Thursday prior to the Sunday of the broadcast that you wish to have your news featured in. The email address to send your news is radcom@rsgb.org.uk, and the RSGB will retain the copyright over any material transmitted. You can find information about amateur radio on our website, which is rsgb.org, and you can also download the full schedule of GB2RS broadcasts from rsgb.org/GB2RS schedule. Well, we wish you 73 from the GB2RS news team. We hope you have a lovely Sunday, what's left of it, and a great week ahead, and we'll be back again next week. This is Graham, Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta, now moving across to the call sign Golf 5 Mike Hotel Zulu, commemorating the work that Gordon Adams did in promoting the 5 MHz band and getting us the allocations that we now enjoy. So G4JBD, now G5MHZ, listening for any calls or reports from any news stations. If you called in earlier, that's fine, I've got you on the list. So any news stations who didn't call in before, call in now, I'll pop you on the list, and then we'll start from the top of the list again and work our way through. G5MHZ, now standing by and listening.